What's going on, FL teams? EJ Farbman back with another post-game recap of the Hurricanes versus Virginia Tech game. You can find me on Twitter at efarbman20. Of course, follow anything content related that goes on with FL teams. So the recap, in my opinion, offense was great first half. We found a stud, Colby Young, as a potential wide receiver one on the outside, big body kid, huge catch radius. Running game was non-existent. I think they realized that to put points on the board, if you don't have the personnel to run a pro-style offense under center, dives, draws, left and right, you just can't run it. So we have the athletes outside. We have the Tyler Van Dyke arm strength to be able to stretch the ball across the field vertically and laterally, which they did in the first half. Great first half, great defensively. Akeem Mesidor defensively showed why he was the top defensive end transfers in the country. I think he had 7 or 8 total tackles. He had 2.5 sacks, 2 or 3 tackles for losses, was everywhere in the backfield the entire time. Second half defensively there was some miscues. Offense was stale. Offense was garbage in the second half. We didn't play the clock properly going into the fourth quarter. We threw it 3 downs in a row when it was 20-7. Could have just milked a little bit more clock. So I don't know the mindset of the game plan going into it in that second half, but I know it wasn't successful. Tyler Van Dyke had 270 yards passing at half. I get that they wanted to keep the confidence alive and air the ball out, but at the same time, you got to kind of read the room a little bit. If it's not meant to be aired out, it's not meant to be aired out. I think they could have ran the ball a little bit more the second half, at least, if anything, to keep the clock moving. You can eat off a play clock every play if you needed to, and that would have drawn off 20 more seconds per play. Loved what I saw defensively for the most part. The discipline from the penalties, what was it, 14 or 15 penalties? It was like Manny Diaz in that stance. Super undisciplined. I think we had 2 or 3 false start penalties in a row at one point in the second half. Those are things that will cost you games. When you have 2 or 3 positive plays in a row and you get hit with a false start, you have a big play, you get hit with a hold. That's deflating to a degree. I mean, you have confidence going 2 or 3 plays in a row, and you get hit with a stupid penalty. So I think that's got to be cleaned up. But if that was the nature of our issue the entire game, I wouldn't have been as upset about it. But the offense in the second half, in my opinion, was the biggest negative from that. Josh Gaddis looked to be, air raid style offense, even though he came pro style from Michigan. They opened a lot of it up, but I don't think we had an answer second half offensively, and that's kind of alarming because Virginia Tech is not a very strong defensive team, and they're not a potent, high-scoring offense either. So it's steps in the right direction. It's progress. It's improvement. I think still at the end of the day, we got to kind of weed out some of the Manny Diaz recruits and habits that he instilled for 3 years, and it's going to take time. But if we hang in there, at the end of the day, in time, Mario produced 2 Pac-12 championships, 2 Rose Bowl appearances. So with the recruiting, we got to get more blue chip athletes in there. I think we'll be fine at the end of the day. Take care, guys.